today.
Oh, there we go.
Very familiar.
Very familiar.
Like a family show today.
Yeah. It feels like we're all sitting around the table, ready to play like a board game.
Yo,
Hey, Drew.
Hey,
hey,
what's
what's
up?
going on? How's everybody doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Keeping busy.
What's the best?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll give folks a minute to file in.
Jenny should join in a minute, so shouldn't take long. Hello,
No.
Angel.
Hey.
Hello, hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. He keeps making fun of me for saying that. Just so you know.
That's funny.
It's not
I
a
have a tendency to do that, like say yeah, like in reply to people, like talk to them.
Yeah.
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 I just got it like once on a during a meeting, and from that point onward,
I think you should do
kept
it.
using it.
All right, let's give folks a couple more minutes. I'm glad to see that the folks are here who are here. Man, it must be tough in the crypto space today.
Yeah, what's the news today?
Ooh, World War III, I think. What else?
Yeah, that's the main thing, I guess.
World War III, I think. Or yeah, I mean, God, like imagine being in Dubai right now.
Whew.
Crazy.
Has it been declared officially or
No. They would never do that. That's accountability. I think what I know that they've like sent out travel notices like around the area though, which is like pretty disruptive. Hey, Lukash, welcome. Hey, Jenny.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. This is like the bunker call.
This is the what call?
Like big war happening, so it's like super intimate group here. Bunker call.
The
You know.
bunker call. Yes.
These happen either way. I don't know. I'm trying to make sense of all this crap. Sorry, guys. Probably putting you too long here, but
That's all we can
it's good to see
do.
you, Jenny,
Try to make sense of things, isn't it?
I guess.
Yeah.
Seeing his
Okay,
face.
I'm so sorry. I have infinite tabs open as always. Okay. We're just trying to sort this out. I need more monitors
That's okay.
perpetually. Okay. Is my team here? Let's see. Keith. I see Paolo. I see G. I see Drew. Okay, good. And Angel's here. And are we broadcasting?
I'm
Team?
recording. I don't know about
Don't think so. Sorry. I was trying to get access to my home PC to do that, but was not able to. Sorry.
we have people monitoring the situation. And we have confirmation from Harold Spencer that if you don't have 100 plus tabs, you aren't living. You know.
I guess I'm living then. Okay.
Living
on the edge.
Living on the edge.
Okay, we may not be broadcasting, but we will sort that. We need to fix that, team. Our broadcasting situation has been a bit inconsistent so far in 2026, but we will fix that.
Right.
On
We're
the
recording.
Oh, that's okay. Okay, at least for recording. Great. Okay, let's kick off with our deck. I think we have a pretty meaty deck today, so we're gonna get into it. Okay, starting off with just a quick update on X Spaces events. So we have one coming up this Friday, March 6th, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Time on Attention Token X. The topic of the week is the attention recession. Don't we all feel that? That will be with guest panelists Fugs, Tria, Maddle Fun, and Moody Madness. And panelists from the Bat Community team will be Guillermo and I. And our most recent event, if you missed it, was on February 20th, and that was the next internet power shift is already underway with Project Mave, Kronos, Drip.re, and Meteora. You can check that out. You know where to find the recordings, Attention Token X. Okay, we have Angel here to give us a quick update on the Brave Games, but before I let her take the mic, I just want to say thank you to everybody who participated in the Brave Games. Went awesome from all the feedback I heard from the community, our team leads, ambassadors, team members. Everything I heard was more or less like it was quite positive. The feedback was quite positive. I think you all had fun. Those who played the game who are here, tell us in the comments. You have the game creator here, to give feedback directly to if you'd like to do that. But yeah, we certainly hope that you had a great time. We had a great time. And I want to specifically thank our Brave team leads. And those folks are Alfred, Bows, Bam Bam, Lukash, Inferno, Nazir, So Deep, Nobita, Yvette, AI, Steve C, and Pesa. Thank you all so much for leading the Brave team to success in the Brave Games. I just want to show off the leaderboard for, is this the latest round, Angel, or is this like the overall leaderboard?
That is the overall. Yeah.
Okay, great. That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure. So we have Bows in the top there, as you can see. I don't know if Bows is here today, but Bows is one of our top players.
He is.
Bows is
and
in
I
the house.
think he, yeah. I saw him.
Yeah, I'm here, Jenny.
Oh, hey. Yeah, congrats on cleaning up in the Brave Games and making it to the top of this leaderboard. It's awesome.
Thanks so much.
How do you feel about how the games went? Did you have a great time?
Yeah, since I cleaned up a little bit, I had an even better time.
It's always better when you.
I was just kidding. No, you did great.
But no, it was fun, and I like that it didn't take like a tremendous amount of time to participate, but also like if you want to, you could definitely think about or work on some of the rounds a little bit longer if you want to. So it seemed like it had a good time commitment level for what we were doing.
Good. That's great feedback. I think that's something that we were worried about when putting the games together is just like, are they short enough to keep people engaged, but also like deep enough for people to, feel like they're like doing something substantive, right? So it's nice to hear that apparently, according to Battles, we struck that balance.
Well, I feel like we were like, or at least me, like I was like, okay, well, how many people are gonna play, right? Like, and my own mental, everybody on the team, I think had different kind of like goals, like on this in their heads. And I was like, dude, if we get 5,000, that would be rad, like registered players. And then like, okay, hopefully it's not too easy, like, cause like in the crypto space, stuff gets like gamed and to death and whatever. But then it ended up being like the opposite, right? Like where some people were like, "This is too hard," or we're having, I was like, "Okay, cool, like that's good." But also too, like the team did a really great job, like putting it together too. Like this is taken. Like I think Angel and I met about this like a year ago about the idea of doing something like this, and the numbers are all amazing, and like everybody seemed like it's rare where you have something where everybody from like the executive team to like the team working on it to like different people in the company, like all, and then people that are playing the game all had really like positive feedback. So I appreciate everybody that helped make this a thing too.
Yeah, and I'll say I didn't really see any negative feedback online. So, and I mean, y'all know how people are online. So I took
Which I
that
think
as
is a testament. Like it's cool because like if you think about like when this happened too, like sentiment around retail crypto is like pretty low. Like a pretty tough vibes out there. Like and I think it's cool like that the feedback was as good as it was given how people are feeling right now about stuff.
Yeah, definitely. We talked about Brave Games a little bit during the ambassadors meeting this past Monday, and got feedback from the participants and the other team leads, and equally there wasn't anything negative that came out of that call. It was all pretty positive. If anything, it was just like some constructive stuff, like how do we ensure that when we do this in the future that the teams are talking to each other a little bit more, and even like the team leads are communicating a little bit better amongst themselves. But I don't think any lack of communication that occurred got in the way of people having a great time. So that's important.
That's a good idea. Yeah. Now that we've had experience running this, we could have more lead time, getting the team leads together earlier, maybe for version 2.
Yeah, totally. I think for V2 we could probably have like more of a wave on social media. If we coordinate with the team leads and the I guess the people who will be most involved like a little bit earlier on in the game, we can like really make the social component pop off even more than it did this time, and it was pretty good this time.
Yeah, this time they're just meeting for the first time at round 1. So yeah, maybe we could actually get them in a room together and set up the channels and things like that ahead of time.
Totally. Yeah, and I just want to give a shout out to some people on the team. Luke mentioned that the team worked really hard on this campaign, and we certainly did. But I just want to give a shout out to Sherelle, who's pretty quiet on these calls, but has done so much work behind the scenes for Brave Games. She was like our main coordinator between all the big partners, Midnight, Mythical, Fanon, us. She scheduled all the meetings. She put together the run book. Like she was on top of it all. And also Drew worked really hard, and Luke, of course, and Angel, and everyone did a great job. But yeah, Cheryl doesn't often come to the mic on these calls, so I just want to make sure that she gets her flowers because she deserves them.
Thank you all. You are all very kind.
Aw, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, so hopping over to the next slide, just going to address the prize situation real quick. So the prizes are all being confirmed with our sponsors. Fanon put out this update, well, Angel put out this update, I think yesterday night. So prizes are going to be going out to our top 500 winners very, very, very soon. And I thought this was interesting, what you shared here, Angel, that out of 51,840 signups who played, the top 500 players are the top 1% of all participants. So that just basically means like the top 500 highest ranked players are receiving prizes, and those players performed in the top 1% of all participants. I thought that was really cool. Yeah, did you want to add anything there?
Yeah, I mean, I know we're all trying to climb leaderboard, and from Drew went from 20 to 62, but
Really? You could do me like
sorry,
that?
did I have to? But in like when we zoom out and take a look at it all, 840 players in total. Over 5,000 players have submitted answer consistently round after round. To place top 500 is, it's difficult. It wasn't a simple game. So good job, everybody. And yes, prizes are coming soon. We're just confirming some details, and yeah, just want to make sure everything is confirmed so that the emails are going out, and you guys can then go to our site to enter your wallet address or email address, physical address. Even the Vibe cards will be shipped to you. and then yeah, we'll hopefully wrap everything up in the next week or so.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Angel. If you all have any questions for Angel or other questions or feedback about the Brave games, feel free to put those in the chat. And in the meantime, we'll move along with the deck. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay, Stan the man, our ambassador from Kenya, recently participated in Egerton University's Hack Egerton event, and he shared some feedback from the event and also some awesome photos, which we'll hop to on the next slides. You can see some here, but they're quite small. So this was on February 28th. At the University of Egerton. I believe their Computer Science Student Association put on the event, which was really cool. At the event, Stan gave a presentation which overviewed Brave and Bat, of course. And apparently he managed to get, actually not apparently, confirmed through his QR code, he was able to get around 70 students to download and try Brave using his download QR code. Yes. And many of those he was able to help with setting up a Brave wallet after the fact, which is really awesome. He said that many of the students at the event, as students and builders, were already fans of Brave, already bullish, and his appearance only served to fortify that sentiment. So thank you, Stan. Thank you so much for yet another awesome event in Kenya. And as you can see, here are the students hard at work, hacking on their projects. Sorry if I skipped through that last slide of photos real quick, but you can see Stan up there with the mic giving his talk, Stan standing beside his Brave QR code, Stan talking to some students, basically just doing a bang up job as always. Thank you so much, Stan. Okay, moving on. Next, okay, we are going to be doing a little user test study, and we are in need of volunteers. We are testing near intents in the Brave wallet in Nightly. The purpose of this is to see how easily users can perform cross-chain swaps with the Brave wallet using near intents and to gather feedback to improve the user experience. So we're looking for around 10 volunteers to test cross-chain swaps using the Brave wallet in the Nightly browser. The test is going to be very, very simple. We'll just have you as a volunteer complete a few simple swap transactions, share your feedback on the experience. You'll get on a Brave Talk call with someone on the team, either me, Suraj, or Drew. We'll interview you for around 45 to 60 minutes, and we might record the sessions on Brave Talk just for the Brave team. We aim to kick this off the week of March 9th, so fairly soon. And there will be compensation, for your time in the study. We're going to be giving our testers some crypto to test with. And then whatever funds are remaining, once you complete your test transactions, you can keep at the end of the study. And we're really looking for users with any level of crypto experience. You could be a beginner, you could be DeFi experienced. We're looking for a diverse pack of testers. So if you are interested in participating in this testing study, please message the Brave Nightly account on X. It's just Brave Nightly. And then I think Keith, who's here, runs that account, and he will help get you onboarded. Luke, is there anything you want to add about this?
Yeah, no, just a couple of things like, this is cool because the way that Intent is integrated, it's like natively kind of built into the swap feature. So like to users, it'll basically be just like having additional assets that are part of the swap feature that's already in the wallet, which is cool because you don't have to like know what near intent is or anything like that. But the other really cool thing about this is that it basically like Near Intents was the first marketplace that had, brought a lot of additional like liquidity, but also bridging and swapping for like Zcash too. So, down the road, we met with the Near Intense team last week when we were at NearCon, and we expressed a big interest in getting BAT supported on Near Intense too. So, the testing from this is helping us to work out the bugs on the intense stuff and help us to make sure that like there aren't any showstoppers or anything like that. And then we're planning on doing like a bigger announcement and potentially like adding that to intense as well. And then we'll do additional testing as we go on this. The other cool thing that came out of NearCon last week was that the Intense team also mentioned that they have just shipped shielded Intense too, which is like adding another layer of privacy to Intense transactions, which is super cool. So, more to come, and this is kind of like the start of it doing it. But Intense are kind of like, there have been these moments in crypto, I'm old, so like I think of like the first time I used like AirSwap back in the day was kind of like magic, and you get to do the swap and it just works kind of thing. And Intense is kind of like that too, because you can actually use it. You don't have that Near integrated, which is super cool. But yeah, so looking for testers, as Jenny mentioned, let us know. And this is also kind of a good way to like get feedback on the swap feature in general. And the team's been working on the wallet a lot, and I know a lot of folks have tested it at different stages. So, maybe you tested it with us before, and, this is another opportunity to give it another shot and let us know, if we missed anything too. But yeah, appreciate it. It's also Suraj has made a voyage on testing with the new program, which will be cool, to see him take to it. And the team put together a really good test plan that I took a look at last week, and super excited to have more users using the thing and giving us the feedback, so let's go. Also, Lee, thank you for the questions. Very thoughtful in the chat. And I'm glad you like the answer. I said we had some good questions in chat too for folks who hadn't checked it out. That's it. Thanks, Jenny.
Cool. Thank you for that added context, Luke. So yeah, just a reminder, if you're interested, you can message Brave Nightly on X, and we'll let you know if there's still spots available in the study. Thanks all. Okay, great. Up next, I don't know if you all saw this, but just wanted to mention it. Last week, Luke, Suraj, Siobhan, a couple other people from the Brave team were at NearCon. Brendan also attended, and he gave a keynote talk. The keynote was called Privacy is Fundamental, Verifiable Privacy and Transparency in the Age of AI. That keynote is currently available in full for you to watch. We have the link to the full keynote in our highlights tab on X. And just a little bit about the talk. In the keynote, Brendan talks about how in the age of AI, privacy must move beyond, the trust me but bro promises to verifiable systems that users can independently audit. He explains a little bit about how Brave is building AI tools designed to resist threats like prompt injections while protecting user data by design. We all know this, but it's an interesting talk. I definitely recommend checking it out. And hang on a second.
So no more trust me, bro.
We're not gonna watch that now. I just wanted to show you.
Like the privacy perfume thing. Yeah.
He likes that analogy. I made sure it was in the clip. Anyway, I'm just showing you on our X, there's a highlights tab if you don't know where that is, because we tweet a lot, so sometimes tweets get lost. But toward the top of the profile, there's a little highlights tab. So if you click on that, you can find the link to the full keynote and other highlights that we want to pin or save. They're in that tab. So I just wanted to remind everybody about that. Okay, that is all for me. Luke, do you want to tell us about your latest episode of The Brave Technologist?
Yeah, so we had Maggie Love from SheFi on to talk about mainstream adoption and hitting the broader cohorts with crypto adoption and kind of blockers and things that we've both experienced on that front. She has a really interesting perspective because she runs SheFi, which I know a lot of the folks on this call on the Brave team and outside the Brave team too. I think Moonbeamer and others have participated a lot in the SheFi program, and have had really good things to say about it. Maggie's awesome. Like, she's a really great speaker. It was a good conversation, and it's not like she's trying to just get like normies doing something. Like, I think she's approaching DeFi through a different lens, and helping new people on board with it. And it seems like, at least anecdotally from what I see, the people that participate seem to get a lot out of it. I know that the folks on our team who have participated have had nothing but good things to say. Anyway, it was a great conversation. She's really doing some important stuff, and I'm glad we could have her on to talk about it. So for folks that are interested, give it a look. It's on brave.com/podcast, and it's episode 110. Thanks all.
Hello, everyone. I'm here to communicate the Bat Community agenda. This is something that we've been posting every week on the X, on the Bat Community account, and basically just goes through the various events that happen throughout the community. And this week, like every other week, we have Tuesday's Poker with Ucash, that's Bat Poker, at 8 p.m. GMT, 4 p.m. EST. I can also link the URL for the specific post. It's probably going to be easier. And I have it open, so it's right here. It's on the comments. And Tuesday's Bat Community Call, as we are in right now. Thursdays is Off the Record with Bat, which I'll discuss more in a bit regarding the specific episode we'll have this week. Friday, we have the Spaces, which we already discussed with Jenny. It will be me and Jenny in a collaborative that I like to call Genie. And there's also the Trivia with the Dave that happens. Actually, the time there is wrong. It's at 5 p.m. GMT, which is midday on EST. Next slide, please. For Echo, as promised, we did a small drop since we could not have the issue 5 being released till in February. So we did something smaller. It's the image, actually a GIF that is on the right. And it's going to be available for the next 3 weeks. I'll also post the URL really quick on the chat here. Done. And the upcoming issue is still on development, which we'll discuss on the very next slide. Thank you, Jenny. So this is the 3 artworks that I selected just to show you guys. Right now, we have had a collaboration of both Moonbeamer and Alfred. Both of them sent testimonials of their own experiences when going through Edify or programs in Edify. Moonbeamer actually just talked and did a whole article on her experience in a SheFi, since we just talked about Maggie. And there's also 2 cute Moonbeamer stickers on the right. And I think that we can launch this on the last week of March. I know for a fact that it will be done by then. I'm just waiting on an article by one of the collaborators. And if it is received in the upcoming weeks, then I can ensure that it will be here then. If not, for whatever reason, I still can present the magazine here on the Bat Community Call before releasing it on officially on Drip. So if you guys want to see it before, you'll have the possibility to do it here. Why not?
Who's that mustache fellow on the bottom?
I know it probably resembles me, but I promise you it's not me. It's actually AI generated, if you believe it. That's not a
Really?
real person,
Interesting.
right? I just did like the star on his sunglasses.
Oh, it's cool.
But it kind of looked like me. I was like, who the hell? Who's this handsome fella? All right, next slide. For some reason, I did like the Western like theme.
Yeah, you got a good theme going with that. I noticed
Exactly.
that.
Like, this way, like, it mixes 2 things, like, because Echo was always like around the space theme. So this way I just mix it in like a different thing on top of it. And I think like works very well, the Western and the space. I don't know.
Space Cowboy. Yeah, I like it.
Space Cowboy. For this week on Off the Record, I just actually saw on X that PewDiePie was training his own AI agent, and on very specific tasks that actually beat ChatGPT and Gemini. So I think it's going to be very interesting to just go through what he did as an alternative to just use models like ChatGPT and Gemini online or in cloud. And this way we could also advertise that we can run our own local agents directly on Brave. I think it will be a very good segment that will allow to directly publicize the things that we can do with Brave Leo, and the fact that you can have privately an AI agent running directly through your hosting in Brave. So I think that'll be a cool one. Nextly, yeah. Oh yeah, this is just a drawing that I did. It's a proposal for a gaming pad. I'll be very honest, it was like a Sunday night, or I think it was actually Monday night, and I just couldn't sleep, so I did it, and I think it looked pretty decent. So I'm gonna color it and make it on digital, and then I'm gonna see if we can make it available. If for whatever reason we cannot make it available on the store, I will give you the files, and I'll give you an exact tutorial on how you can order this and just pay for the production and shipping. That's the very best that I can do, fellas. And I think that's it from my end. Oh, no, that's just a bug slide that I
Oops.
accidentally duplicated.
It's got a nonsensical Latin on it. Okay, awesome.
Guillermo way.
Thank you, G. Okay, Keith.
Hello, everyone. This is your weekly dose of Keith. It's been a long time since I was here, so not every week, but hello. So yeah, we put out the survey for Brave Origin. So if you don't know what Brave Origin is, it is Brave without Brave Wallet, Leo, VPN. It's going to be paid. I don't know if we have definite answer if it's a subscription based or one time. This is why we're doing the survey, just to get feedback from people. Originally, we did this survey with ambassadors only, but then I got approval to send it on Twitter. So it will be interesting to see how people react to it. Will it be
what have you
paid?
seen so far, like on your posts and stuff? What would you say most of the comments have been? Just out of curiosity.
There are mixed reactions. There are definitely mixed reactions. People on Linux are really happy because, Guillermo, this will answer your question. It's going to be free on Linux because people don't pay for anything on Linux. I think we're still working on the pricing of Brave Origin, but people are open to the idea for the most part. They see it more as a support or kind of like a donation to Brave. But I've also seen the confusion that if we are going to release this, we are going to disable the option to disable things in Brave, which is not the case. Linux X Brave Origin worth? Yes.
Right.
Right.
Well, it's interesting, right? Like, because like, I think this is one of those things where it's a problem that like you don't see if you're not building something like a browser as often, because like everybody uses browsers, right? Whereas like other products are like specifically tailored for certain audiences, but like you see it though, like people see it too. Like you'll do like one side of the user base will be like, you guys aren't doing enough stuff on the crypto side. Another is like, why aren't you doing more in AI? There's another that's like, why are you using so much RAM? I hate bloat. Why isn't it just like a blank screen like that I can do stuff in? Like, those are all like legitimate points of view, right? Like, and so I think part of this is having an answer for people that want that minimal experience. But the other dynamic here is like Brave is not like a non-profit, right? Like we rely on making money. And so if we're going to do that, like it takes work to ship something where you have this ability to turn certain things on and certain things off, and certain things like make us money. And so if we're going to offset that, we've got to figure out a way to make it work to where we're actually like able to keep the lights on too, because we can't just give it away for free. It's not like we're like a nonprofit or something. So it's a balance, right? And that's part of why like we're having like folks like Keith get involved, is because like a lot of that feedback we hear are from like people that are fans of Keith, but like, and a lot of like technical users that just really want a minimal thing. And so I think like it's really helpful to get that feedback from people and then like figure out how we can tune this, right? Or whatever. And even just messaging it kind of tricky, right? Because some of it seems antithetical to other parts of the business, but in reality, like, you're shipping something that a grandma could be using, also like a furry could be using or whatever. Like I don't care. Like it's for everybody, right? That's what we're doing. So like I think this is kind of part of like having that user person stuff is like trying to ship stuff that people like, and people like it, like and they want to spend money on it. Cool, like or they're using Linux, whatever. But like yeah. Anyway, that's my 50 cents on it. But I don't know what you think, Keith.
I mean, just a TLDR for people that are listening. Brave has to make money so I can buy anime figurines and return that to please everyone.
Oh, Keith.
I got a question now.
Yeah.
On it being Brave Origin, Brave on Linux, outside of people on Linux just not willing to pay for things. Yeah, knock on Linux users. But yeah, I guess why would it be a free version on Linux versus just using the regular Brave free version of Brave on Linux? I guess is there any reason for that out of curiosity?
Right. So what we've been seeing, for example, with Soren OS and Nobara that have Brave installed by default now, they just have a policy which disables all of this by default. So I think we just want to make the process a lot easier and just have this minimal installation of Brave for Linux distros to just have it by default, so they don't have to maintain any flags or anything.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Like, and I think too, the percentage of the Linux distribution out of our total user base, I mean, aside from Android, which is a kind of a different animal, but technically kind of is Linux, but like it's a small percentage, but it's also like a very diehard, like there's something different about Linux users. They're just more technical. They're very vocal. They give us a lot of great feedback all the time. Like there are people that will go and like champion stuff for us. So it's like a mix of things. Yeah. But I also think too, there's like another piece to this where, down the road, right? Like we see demand from folks on the enterprise side around like giving them a version of Brave that they can actually tool up. Well, what we do have those like admin policies that are in place on our GitHub that IT admins can do for workplace installs. But like if we have something like Origin, it can kind of set the path for us to do maybe a enterprise version someday, right? Like we'll have the pieces to at least like consider that in the future potentially. Like it just like gets us the ground running for a lot of different doors that start to open too. Like with this.
Yeah, that makes sense. And that's kind of about what I figured. I just wondered if there was any kind of particular reasons. I actually used to use Linux way back in the day a little bit and messed around back when like Linux Mint was new and all that stuff. But yeah, it was good times. But then I got a job and started using no, I'm just kidding. But go on, Keith. I'll butt out.
Thank you, Drew. Right. I've been asking for a lot of feedback both on the Brave Nightly account and my own account. One thing we've definitely been lacking on is Leo, both in model selection and just how our UI is. I think kind of the leaders in this is something like T3 Chat. They are doing a phenomenal job of UI and UX. Anthropic has been doing a lot better. We're getting on par with ChatGPT or OpenAI, but their site is not that great. As far as I know, we're doing some rewriting with Leo. So we'll stop using C and C++ and go into JavaScript, which is going to make things a whole lot easier for us to work with. So yeah, I've been just asking for feedback on what we can improve with Leo, and people just want a better UI. I mean, we have Sonnet, we have Opus, we have great model. We just need to improve the UI and UX.
That's a great point too, because I think like Keith, you and Suraj both, but like I know that was a big thing you and I worked on back in November, December was that first survey that went out, and like what we saw a lot of feedback for back then was like models, right? Like and it seems like we've made some positive progress on the model side, and like I totally agree, the UX is like needs to be more competitive, and I think like some of the JavaScript changes you mentioned like should hopefully help with that, but also even just looking at like if you look at like Brave Search, the AI UX there is like really slick on like ask, right? Like, and even like kind of getting better parity with that will like make a big difference, I think, in unifying, tighten it up. But like, I appreciate that you're doing all this stuff, Keith. I think that's really helpful. And yeah, like folks, I mean, there is like one thing that's been super surprising, just like looking at how many people within Brave are starting to try Leo out. Like there's huge demand for this, so like the better we get the Leo product, the more that we're retaining that demand and can talk about it loudly and all that stuff. So this feedback that you guys give us is actually really helpful, and we really appreciate it. Cool. I think who's got hands up? Crippler Resistance, you were the first one. Why don't we chime in there?
I don't get it. I don't understand. Well, what do people want? Do they want Brave without Brave Shields or what? Because you can turn off almost everything already. So I don't understand what they're complaining. What the hell is the complaint?
Right.
That's a good point. I don't understand it too sometimes, to be honest.
They don't want the code itself to be in the installer because yes, you can disable it both in the UI and just with flags, but they see the code itself as bloat. So as long as the code is still in the build, they see it as bloat. So if we have an installer which doesn't have that code, they don't view it as bloat.
It's a code of privacy risk.
Well, I think it's like put yourself in this mindset, like Gribble, if you imagine you're the type of user that might actually like inspect a code base, right? Like those folks are like, if we're shipping code, even people might assume that things get more optimized over time, but like for somebody that actually cares to that level, like that's something else they gotta keep an eye on, look at all of that stuff. There's actually like a good contingent of folks that are pretty militant about this from what I see. I don't know, Keith, I could be wrong there too, but like it just seems like this is like less that's top of mind for them on top of like performance, concerns or other things like that.
I mean, yeah.
I understand. Thank you. I'm not bitching. It just irritates me.
Yep.
Fair enough.
I know the feeling. Alex, you got a hand up too.
Hello. Just got a question about Brave Origin. Is it difficult to ask like bigger players in the Linux industry, for example, like Mint, I guess Mint or Ubuntu, to incorporate an option for Brave Origin as a default browser, since it's only Mozilla and Chromium offered in Ubuntu? I'm wondering if there's a possibility where there could be a partnership with these bigger Linux distribution companies or software.
Right. This is something me and Luke have talked about in the past. I think we talked about this like a year ago, actually.
After what that fantasy distro put us in there, I think after you guys were talking to them or something. Like I remember, like that was like pretty awesome. Yeah,
it was Tuxedo. It was Manjaro. Manjaro actually started using Vivaldi for some reason. Partnership would definitely be possible. I don't know with Linux Mint, because Linux Mint has or had a partnership with Mozilla. So it might be quite difficult to get Linux Mint on board with it. But usually how it goes is that the community is very vocal about something. So for example, when Firefox changed its TOS, people got really upset with Firefox, and that's why a lot of Linux distros swapped over to Brave. So, I mean, kind of just how Linux and open source in general works, it's just feedback of the people. If people want Brave by default on the operating system, they'll probably get Brave by default, unless there's some weird reason behind it. But yeah, basically,
I think that's a good point. Like, I think too, like, this is one of those things where, like, if we're meeting the Linux users more where they're at, and if that's, I would say with a high degree of confidence, the vast majority of those like bloat kinds of comments are most likely from a lot of the Linux users that are really fixated on that, right? Like, if we can meet them where they're at with this, like, I suspect, I mean, because aside from these things, it's really like the people that are against Brave typically are like folks that just don't like Chromium, right? Like, typically, at least from what I see. But like, Firefox has done things that have, you know, made people feel different about Firefox, right? Like some of the changes around analytics that have happened over the past year, and other decisions that have happened in the org that have influenced people's sentiment. And, you know, if we have a solution that's like, not only are we like, you know, we're actually like listening to that contingent, like I suspect that the people will take note of that, because they tend to take note of those things. Like when you because I think Linux is like overlooked a lot in the space, but that's just my own opinion. Other folks feel free to chime in too on that, but I think this is part of the effort, you know.
Yeah,
and it's also nice to reply to people with, "Hey, we've got this solution that, you know, you don't like blood, here you go, go use it."
Yeah, because like because I sometimes use Raspberry Pi OS as well. I have 2 Raspberry Pis running, and it's like, man, I got to choose between Chromium or Mozilla. Both of them I do not want, and obviously I would have to just download Brave otherwise. But still, I do think these, I guess, Linux and Debian operating systems are just like missing out on an opportunity. But I do think Brave Origin would have great as well.
Yeah, I think that, I definitely think Brave Origin will help us reach more of the Linux audience. I mean, as Luke mentioned, a lot of Linux people do not like Chromium. I also think it's just, I guess, uneducation on Chromium and also the history of Brave, because we try to be based on Graphene, which is based on the Gecko rendering engine. That didn't work out. So we ended up using Chromium. Well, we used Muon, then we went to Chromium.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate the response.
Yeah, no worries.
Good questions. Cool.
You can go to the next slide. Harold.
Yeah, I'm curious. And I because I seriously don't know. I've been more focused on the back end for AI, Leo AI server, and not so much the browser front end itself. But given that we've been hearing so much about agentic AI, and we've been seeing the moves at Perplexity AI browser and a few other browsers out there, what do we think, or where do we see Brave evolving, or do we see evolving of doing more agentic AI, and what does that mean for you know, the browser itself?
Right. I think we'll definitely see better AI agents in the browser. It's just how we implement it, because how we do it currently is with different profiles, but something like Atlas and Perplexity, they just have its own profile and the agent is running in that profile. So it has access to all your stuff.
So So what you're telling me is that given that we're doing AI agents and they have their own profiles, so what you're saying is that we could essentially have wallets with those agents that are managed from a central profile and linking us to like X402 stuff, right?
I mean, I think that was one of the ideas, to allow an agent to have access to your wallet so it can pay for stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, guy, you tell me, Harold.
I don't, you know, I know there's a conversation on the AI server on the back end of Leo. There was conversations about leveraging MCP more, right?
Yeah.
And which if the browser is using more agents, then it definitely does seem like that would put us in a very positive position, given that we have a native wallet, and but how we manage those wallets and the information on those wallets, from like, how does that work within I didn't know if anyone had been really looking at that or thinking about that on the front end side.
I think it's kind of like there's a bunch of things around Agentic here. Like, I know, Keith, you mentioned too, like the desire to have agents doing a lot of different kind of small tasks in the background, which I totally think is like probably how this ends up looking. There's like all this hype around Agentic right now, and like half of it is just like, look, this thing made a tweet for me and it took twice as long and it wasn't me making the tweet. Like, great, you know. Or like people will make an agent that does like shopping for you, but it's like, some people like shopping for certain things, right? Like, so the trick, I think, is like, what are the tasks that you want an agent to do, and then how do you provision and delegate authority, like, or authorize, I mean, you know, and delegate for the agents to do those things in a safe way that doesn't, because you're also at the same time seeing like crazy stuff. Like, you know, agents are probabilistic, so like sometimes they'll like go off the rails even if you tell them not to do certain things, right? Like, so there's these security issues, right? Like that you're balancing, and there's not a ton of market fit yet, but like, I think there's other folks that are looking at this stuff too. Like, so we're kind of at a point where it's early, but I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, I think we shouldn't give AIs full control just yet. I mean, we have OpenClaw, and I've seen some horror stories for that. So
yeah,
as long as we go slow and we think about privacy and security like we always do, I think we're gonna be just fine.
I saw one of the dudes at NearCon talking about like giving his whole portfolio to like an agent, like, and not even like, I was like, dude, what are you doing? Like, this is insane, you know? But like,
Yeah.
we could programmatically do that. They're super smart, probably, but like, you gotta like not. It's like giving like a 16-year-old like a bottle of tequila and a Ferrari, like playing or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
good, you know.
Yeah, no, that's what I think it was more curious about, is like, because when you say like short running tasks, like what's the definition of that, right? And
Right.
what is considered categories of that? And so, and like you said, yeah, I've seen some crazy stuff with, you know, the long running tasks where like the agents lose context of the rules that have been applied to them to say, hey, don't do this. But because they've ran so long, those rules are overwritten because they ran out of memory or whatever like that. So it's overwritten, it's totally forgot about it. And so it's just like, okay, I'm gonna go do whatever based
Right.
upon what, right? And so how does it, you know, what are those checks and balances there? And I think that's like, you know, that again is given if you're tying wallets with that, like what are you doing to, from a security perspective and privacy perspective, protecting that information and data? You know what I mean?
And for a cost perspective, like, dude, if it costs like $800 for this thing to do stuff, like that's expensive, you know. Like, and I think some of that, the jury's out on like what's the true value to cost and like privacy and security balance with these things that like make sense for scaling in the practical world. It'll get there, like, for sure, right? Like, because there's so many things where this could benefit you, like, but right now it's still kind of early, probably. There's also other concerns too, like a story, like not a story, but some folks spotted this with, I think it was from the X402 stuff, or or whatever, where like I think Coinbase was shipping analytics with that, where like people weren't expecting that. And you know, there are some real privacy concerns around this stuff too, where like, you know, people have strong opinions about CBDCs. Well, you could have a world where like, okay, like if people are adopting agents, right? Like, you know, everything that's bad, people see as bad with the CBDC, an agent could as easily be doing, you know, de facto in a different way. There are real risks around that, like and around like speed running and all that stuff too.
Yeah, I mean, well, was it Meta is like they're giving people wallets whether they want it or not. So, you know,
yeah.
Was it how many people? 8 billion? Is it 8 billion? I can't remember. I can't remember the billions, but all the profiles don't get wallets. So
it's a lot more than when they did. We're talking about Libra, man. Like, yeah. Well, and like it's wild, man. Like I still think people have a relatively low understanding of like what, you know, Coinbase is doing with the self custody with Base and the privacy stuff there. It's just kind of nightmarish. Like there's a lot of things that people need to get more aware of, I think.
Privacy? What? You talking
what? 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 There we go.
Right. Yeah, the last slide. I've implemented LM Sync, LM Studio Sync. We have Ollama Sync currently. We have optimized Ollama a bit more than LM Studio. So I've been working on just a one-click thing for syncing all your LM Studio models, because people are going more and more towards local models. I mean, as Guillermo pointed out, PewDiePie was making a video on local AI stuff, and that seems to be kind of the future of it. So I just want Brave Leo to be the easiest way to access your local model. So I am gonna be working on setting up a PR for this and work on some more local stuff in the future. So yeah, that's all from me.
On Android too, Keith?
Hopefully on Android. I just want iOS to become on par with Android before we do anything.
Got it. Yeah, Harold was just asking about Android in the chat, so I just thought I'd ask it. Well, we still have
Yeah, fair enough.
All right, so I'll jump in and I'll go pretty quick here as we're getting close to the hour. But one of the things I've been kind of looking at lately is kind of, you know, BAT in DeFi. These numbers here on the top two charts are from CoinMarketCap. So whether or not they are, you know, super accurate, I don't know. But if you look at, you know, the basic attention token there, this is the DEX volume. There's not a ton. So there's like, as a, you know, last 24 hours, there's like 15 million in BAT volume, and like, you know, so 99+% of it is done on CEXs or centralized exchanges, your Binances and Coinbases and things like that. So it's kind of interesting actually, and I think it presents some opportunities for you know, opportunities in DeFi and people being able to, you know, do more with their BAT tokens, and then also provides opportunities to do other things as well. So anyways, just in the DEXs there, it looks like the Meteora is the number 7, which is the one the community made, and most of that's just locked up in the liquidity pool. And then below that on number 8, well, actually, what are these numbers? Whatever. The top of these ones is the last one there is Radium, which also is a community one that's on Solana. Yeah, obviously leverage and stuff like that you can do on centralized exchanges for the most part, I think now. Ideally, I'd love to get it, you know, I know a lot of Solana dexes and more decentralized things have perps and futures and leverage trading and stuff, which really kind of feeds into volume and people utilizing BAT and stuff too, and getting different yields and things. Like I said, I don't know how accurate this is on the centralized things. There's some ways I guess you can earn some BAT on your centralized exchanges there. Obviously, those rates are pretty low. And yeah, that's a lot. Cash. On the bottom right thing where it says the 29.1%, that's that Meteora BAT Solana liquidity pool. And obviously that it goes, but for the last 24 hours, the 365 yield would be about 29%. I was actually looking a little bit on what's a Uniswap, and they have one that has about 29% as well. Most of the other ones are around 16 or maybe a little lower. So they, actually, and I thought that there was, I hadn't done a lot of DeFi stuff on Ethereum. I just mainly have done mostly DeFi stuff on Solana because I just kind of figured that, the Ethereum ecosystem would be kind of, saturated a little bit, but it's actually, at least on Uniswap and a few others that I looked, there's not a ton. I mean, there's about 70,000 locked up, and there's some pools in there that look decent, BAT, Ethereum pools, things like that. But I think there's definitely room to grow, and I'm excited actually about it. And on that note, so we have 430,000 BAT that's locked in the Guano Cave or BAT Cave. It's earning Guano, and 987 stakers. So we're getting real close to 1,000. I think, so the actually we had a new tab takeover the other day, I think Sunday or yesterday. Actually, yesterday, I think. And it was yesterday. And so that I think drove some numbers. Obviously, they aren't like huge numbers that because you got to have BAT on Solana to participate, but the numbers have been jumping up a little bit, and I'm actually excited to get to 1,000. I think that's a good milestone to get to, and then we already talked about the games and stuff, so we appreciate everybody that participated in Angel, of course, for putting that on, and looking forward to what's to come. So thanks everyone.
Woo.
Okay, hi everyone. I don't want to take much. It's 5 p.m. already. Well, my time.
Yeah, take your time, Paula. This is it's rare where we have the slide deck running over. I love it. Just keep going.
Thank you so much. But still, I don't want to take much of your time because I know you're busy. Okay, so I have an update for you about the BAT community call summaries or X articles. So article number 87. Which is the one from February 3rd, has been published on the Basic Attention Token account, as you can see on the picture there. Also, Article 88, the one from the following week, February 10th, is currently in progress and will be published later this week. It will be ready very soon. And just so you know, well, I say this every single week, but in case you missed the BAT community calls, you can also you can find the recordings from the BAT community calls on the BAT community YouTube channel. So the recording from last week's BAT community call is now available, so you can go check it out. Next slide, please. Thank you. And I have an update for the BAT ambassadors in LATAM. It's been a while since the last time I shared updates from them, so I'm very excited to do that today. So for BAT Mexico, they have different events coming soon this year. Well, not coming soon, coming this year, sorry. So Eric is going to attend Talentland in Mexico City, if everything goes well, considering everything that's going on in Mexico, but hopefully they will be able to do it. Actually, Talentland has been taking place in Jalisco, I believe, since they started doing the event, but they were able to move it to Mexico City. Then they confirmed attendance at ETH Global Lisbon in July 24th to 26th, and we actually discussed the possibility of him and G meeting. I think it would be a very nice opportunity for them to meet. And then he's planning some activations for the FIFA World Cup 2026 in Mexico, again, if everything goes well. But yeah, I really hope he can do all these things. Then Donatello, he's exploring the organization of a potential side event with some community members. I don't have more information, like additional information just yet, but as soon as he shares more additional details, I'll let you know. And then from Bad Honduras, Rafael has been actively creating content on the Bad in Honduras account. I wanted to give him some recognition and add some of his posts here because he's been killing it lately. So yeah, thank you so much for all your work. Also Eric and Donatello. And yeah, these are the updates from my side. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Thank you,
everybody.
the team.
Wow, that was a meaty deck.
It was full today.
Hey, World War III with the Bat community. Thank you, everybody. With that, yeah, thank you all. I know we ran a little long today, but appreciate everybody's good questions too. And thanks you all for dropping by. We'll be back 1 week from today, same bat time, same bat channel. Until then, we'll see you all online. Stay safe. And yeah, we're always here for each other. You know what I mean? Talk to you all later. See you all online. Have a good one.
Take care, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Take care.
Bye, everyone.